Post-training notice. National First Class Registered Exorcist. Chapter 80. Deceased Kun. 1 hour later. Are you tired? Zhi Xiaoduo asked Shi Cheng, let me paddle ba. Shi Cheng was doing a backstroke, and Zhi Xiaoduo was lying on his body. Shi Cheng replied, I'm not tired, just hold on to me. Zhi Xiaoduo, where are you swimming to? The coast. Shi Cheng replied, I'm just afraid I won't be able to swim all the way there. If you could swim there, that would actually be insane. Zhi Xiaoduo said, are we out in international waters? N. Shi Cheng comforted him, don't worry, we'll never be separated again. Zhi Xiaoduo. Although it was winter, the sea outside Macau was not too cold, just like the winter in Sanya, where the water temperature only fell to about 10 degrees Celsius. Shi Cheng murmured, I can't transform, so what can we do? Shi Cheng hesitated for a moment, and then looked at Zhi Xiaoduo. Zhi Xiaoduo hugged him around the neck. Shi Cheng was drenched and looked even stranger than before, but his figure was very good, with chest and abdominal muscles. The suit had already fallen into the sea, while the white shirt that was drenched with water had become transparent. His neck was completely wet, which made him seem very sexy. Shi Cheng said, give me a kiss ba. Zhi Xiaoduo. The sky is very beautiful. Shi Cheng said. Zhi Xiaoduo turned to look at the sky. The Milky Way was really beautiful. If we can't get help, Shi Cheng said, we will die of fatigue before the sun comes out. Are you willing to be with me? Zhi Xiaoduo said, you feel no guilt at all, President yet. I'm just saying, Shi Cheng said solemnly, once you do away with the prosperity of the world, money, a house, a job, status. Only you and I are left at sea. This is taking liberties with me. Zhi Xiaoduo said. Shi Cheng paddled through the water and quietly looked at Zhi Xiaoduo. They rose and fell with the quiet sea. Let me ask you a question. Zhi Xiaoduo said, Shi Cheng, are you a bad person? I don't think I am. What do you think? Shi Cheng replied, true heroism is not never having any base behavior, it's just never succumbing to that. You don't have to be afraid of sinking and falling, as long as you continuously pull yourself back up and try again. Do you like me? Zhi Xiaoduo asked. Shi Cheng nodded and looked into Zhi Xiaoduo's eyes. Zhi Xiaoduo looked back at the sky, then turned to Shi Cheng and said, although we have only known each other for a few hours. It's already been 5 hours. Shi Cheng replied. But I find that I do like you a little. Zhi Xiaoduo said, if we survive this, I will date you. We can be together now. We're already together. Zhi Xiaoduo didn't know whether to cry or laugh as he said this. Kiss me. Shi Cheng said. Zhi Xiaoduo hesitated for a moment, then pressed his lips against his, and Shi Cheng immediately greedily stretched out his tongue. Woo! Zhi Xiaoduo was kissed by Shi Cheng and felt really good. He thought, this is completely insane. I went to a party on a cruise ship on the night of New Year's Eve. As a result, I personally participated in a major movie in which a domineering president fell in love with me, the Macau god of gamblers showed up and went through a bunch of adventures, and it all culminated in an escape out to sea. Finally, I found such an ugly and rich boyfriend with an unclear identity. Maybe I will open my eyes later and find myself lying in bed. Okay, okay. Zhi Xiaoduo said, save your energy ba. I hope the helicopter will continue to search for us now. Zhi Xiaoduo leaned his head against Shi Cheng's chest, and Shi Cheng continued to paddle to prevent the two of them from sinking. Zhi Xiaoduo carried the box behind his back, which added a little buoyancy to them, so that Shi Cheng wouldn't physically exhaust himself so quickly. You rest for a bit. Shi Cheng said, 1, 2, 3, sleep. Zhi Xiaoduo said, not sleeping. If you die of exhaustion tomorrow, today will be the last night of your life. They were silent for a moment, and Zhiziaduo sang in the undulating sound of the waves. Where do we go from here? The waves gently washed against their intertwined bodies. Looking up, they couldn't touch the stars, and looking down, they couldn't touch the ground. Like in midair, only they were quietly suspended and snuggled up against each other. Just like two lonely people in the vast universe and the void, they had nothing to rely on except each other. It's really strange. Clearly we only met today, but why is every move of his so familiar and natural, Zhiziaduo thought. Is that the song? Xicheng asked in a low voice. Zhiziaduo didn't answer him, humming softly. We had it all. You believed in me, and I believed in you. The surrounding sea water became extremely quiet, as if even the last ripple had disappeared. The whole sea was like a flat mirror, reflecting hundreds of billions of stars in the sky. Then, a large dark ridge rose from the bottom of the sea, like a lonely island in an endless world, or like an endless huge arc, holding them up. Zhiziaduo. Xicheng was lying on the back of that monster, and Zhiziaduo was lying on him. They turned their heads in disbelief and looked around. Zhiziaduo was about to ask, but Xicheng covered his mouth and motioned for him to not make a sound. That was the back of a big fish who was more than 1,000 meters long. It held up the two people and moved quietly through the sea. Xicheng sat up and hugged Zhiziaduo. Zhiziaduo touched the hard shell under his body, and it was like a turtle shell or a fish scale. Xicheng. Am I dreaming? Zhiziaduo frowned deeply, completely unable to believe what was happening right now. Shh. Xicheng said, it's not a dream. It's probably some sort of animal. Don't talk, lest you scare it. Such a big thing exists. Zhiziaduo whispered. Don't mind it. Xicheng said. Xicheng bent a knee and sat on the fish's back. Zhiziaduo leaned in Xicheng's arms and felt the wind blowing in his face. The huge fish carried them forward towards the east. The waves splashed one after another, and from beginning to end, the giant fish only showed a small piece of its back. Surrounded by water as he was, riding the wind and waves forward, he didn't know why, but the rhythmic sound of the waves made Zhiziaduo sleepy. I'm so sleepy. Zhiziaduo said, I can't hold out any longer. Xicheng's chest rose and fell, and his warmth seeped through his shirt. Sleep for a while. Xicheng said, maybe you'll be home when you wake up. You'll disappear when I wake up. Zhiziaduo said. No. Xicheng whispered, I swear. I will still be by your side when you woke up. N. Zhiziaduo whispered, you'd better remember that. His head hung down, he leaned against Xicheng's arm, and fell asleep. What exactly is this? Xicheng murmured. This is a deceased Kun. A sincere male voice answered. Xicheng. Shh, don't wake up your wife. The man's voice said. Countless specks of light flew up from the sea and gathered together to show a tall man standing at the end of the fish's back. Xicheng's breath grew short, and he tried to speak several times, but he couldn't say a word. Chinchi. The man's voice said, where did you put Dad's ashes? Xiang Cheng said, I. Dad. Xiang Jianhua's shining figure came towards them, and Xicheng hurriedly said, it was my carelessness, Dad. You dumped the ashes of your father and mother into the sea. Xiang Jianhua asked with a smile. Xiang Cheng said helplessly, on the day I came to Guangzhou, they got swept into a ditch and went downstream to the sea. Damn me. Xiang Jianhua didn't speak, and Xiang Cheng said, Dad, are your Hunpo still here? This is a deceased Kun. Xiang Jianhua said, it has lived for as long as the heavens and earth, and it was formed by the dead souls in the sea attaching themselves to the skeleton of a Kun. Your mom knew that you would come to the sea one day, and has been waiting for you this entire time. On the sea, a larger body of light gathered and took shape, showing a fairy wearing thousands of layers of skirts and robes scattering into the sky. She led the deceased Kun in a swift charge towards the shore. Xiang Cheng's whole body trembled, and tears flowed uncontrollably. Xiang Cheng, you're about to have to take care of someone else now. Yao Ji said gently, you're so big now, why are you still crying? Mom. Xiang Cheng raised his hand, wiped his tears as he put his arm around Zhi Xiaoduo. Then he looked up and couldn't help sobbing. Mom and your dad are very good. Yao Ji whispered, you have worked hard for so many years. Mom wasn't good to you, but don't hate Mom. Mom loves you guys. Xiang Jianhu laughed and said, you're also ready to marry and settle down. At least we got to see it. It's a pity that Mama can't watch the two of you be good together. Yao Ji turned around and showed a glowing face. Some fireflies flew over, circling around Xiang Cheng and Zhi Xiaoduo. Mom and Dad are proud of you. Yao Ji and Xiang Jianhua turned into numerous specks of light that converged into the sky. The stars scattered far away under the rotating vault of the heavens, and the night faded away to an ancient sapphire blue. The dawn was boundless and flashed at the end of the heavens and the earth. The earth veins sent the energy of the world, the light and heat that ran through every soul, into the sky. The coastline appeared at the junction of the heavens and sea, the mountains were verdant as always. The world flickered back and forth, the innocent birds sang, and the air in the mountains was so clear that it could wake someone's very consciousness up. Zhi Xiaoduo opened his eyes vaguely. Last night, what happened last night was like a dream. He was lying on a man's back and was being piggybacked by him. He was walking through a path in a field, and their clothes were half dry. Shi Cheng's suit coat was gone, and his white shirt was almost transparent after being wet. Their shoes were also both gone, and Shi Cheng walked barefoot in the mud, with his trouser legs rolled up to his knees. It was muddy, as if it had just rained. Zhi Xiaoduo said. What? President yet? Call me husband. Zhi Xiaoduo. Zhi Xiaoduo thought of what had happened last night and felt that it was a little like they were being introduced to get married. President yet? Call me Xiang Cheng Ba. What exactly is your surname? Xiang Cheng didn't answer and instead continued to piggyback Zhi Xiaoduo as he trudged forward. Zhi Xiaoduo leaned forward over his shoulder and looked at him with his head tilted. Xiang Cheng turned sideways to kiss Zhi Xiaoduo, but Zhi Xiaoduo sharply ducked away from his kiss. You promised me. Xiang Cheng raised his eyebrows, looked at Zhi Xiaoduo, and said, what's the matter? You're going back on your word as soon as we get ashore. Zhi Xiaoduo, right? How did we get here? He remembered that at the very end, a huge fish had appeared and carried them ashore. You should settle this debt first. Xiang Cheng said solemnly, then we can talk about other things. Don't play dumb. Xiang Cheng said, will you be with me? Okay, Ba. Zhi Xiaoduo said reluctantly, thinking that he's really ugly to the point of having a different kind of style. However, when he thought of all the things that had happened last night, it was like a surreal dream, but they were all so beautiful. How can you answer so reluctantly? Xiang Cheng added. Zhi Xiaoduo kissed Xiang Cheng's ear. Half of Xiang Cheng's face turned red all the way up to his ears. Let me down. It's dirty. That's fine. Be a bit quieter. Zhi Xiaoduo had no choice but to stay still as Xiang Cheng continued to piggyback him through the field. President yet? Zhi Xiaoduo said, how did we get ashore yesterday? That fish, was it a yaoguai? Do you believe that there are yaoguai in the world? My grandmother said. As the two men drifted further along, the mountains of the Lizhu Peninsula were shrouded in cloudy mist, and Zhi Xiaoduo suddenly felt that this conversation seemed familiar. A fishing boat saved us in the middle of the night. Xiang Cheng turned his head sideways and replied, I thanked them for you after we came ashore. Really? Zhi Ziaduo was full of doubts and asked, "Where is the fish?" Xiang Cheng asked instead, "What fish? Don't try to fool me." Zhi Ziaduo couldn't laugh or cry. Xiang Cheng said, "You fell asleep, and you were dreaming ba. The captain of the fishing boat said that if we walk along this road, we can reach the town in an hour." "Really?" Zhi Ziaduo was confused. A small town appeared ahead, and Xiang Cheng let Zhi Ziaduo stand in a clean place. Zhi Ziaduo thought, "Should I call the police?" But last night's thing was such a huge ruckus, and calling the police would also be dangerous ba. "Do you have any money?" Zhi Ziaduo asked. Xiang Cheng patted himself down. His Nokia Virtu was wet, his wallet was empty, and the money in Zhi Ziaduo's wallet had already been soaked to pieces. There was not even an ATM nearby. Xiang Cheng managed to find a red envelope and opened it. It was soft and soaked, but there were 20,000 Australian dollars. "A New Year's red envelope for you." Xiang Cheng gave the red envelope to Zhi Ziaduo and took one bill to exchange. Things were much easier with some money. Xiang Cheng washed his feet at the back of a small shop in the town, and they each put on a pair of slippers. Zhi Ziaduo wanted to call Chen Zhen, but Xiang Cheng stopped him. "Go back and listen to my plans." Xiang Cheng replied. "Where are you going next?" Zhi Ziaduo asked. Xiang Cheng replied, "I will follow you." Zhi Ziaduo, "Won't Fengli and the others come find you?" "You're not going to mind your company anymore, ah?" Xiang Cheng said, "Fengli will resolve things on his own. I'm your boyfriend, so what's the problem with me following you?" Xiang Cheng raised his head and smiled at Zhi Ziaduo. "I didn't expect this guy to look pretty good when he smiles, no. This is totally wrong, right?" Zhi Ziaduo wanted to ask again, but Xiang Cheng only said that once they got back, they would solve things and he definitely wouldn't harm him, so Zhi Ziaduo had to give up. The two of them spent some money in the town to eat noodles, then took a motorcycle to the bus station nearby. Xiang Cheng bought return tickets to Guangzhou in 4 hours. Zhi Ziaduo's head cleared, and he felt that everything had happened too suddenly. He felt as if he was harboring a criminal. After he got back, this guy probably wouldn't take him as a hostage to threaten Chen Zhen, right? However, he also felt that the President Yan next to him was unexpectedly reliable, as if he was much more reliable than everyone he knew from childhood to now. Xiang Cheng fell asleep, and his entire body slumped into Zhi Ziaduo's arms. Zhi Ziaduo looked at his sleeping face and felt a little moved. He kind of wanted to kiss him, but he was really ugly. Ha ha ha, this kind of man, besides being kind of tall and having a better figure, if he didn't show that he had money, no one would like him but. It seemed that it was also good to find a boyfriend with ordinary features. At least, it wouldn't be easy for him to go out and cheat on him. Zhi Ziaduo thought, forget it, I'll take you in ba. Xiang Cheng slept all the way to Guangzhou. When they got to Guangzhou, they were all covered with salt. Xiang Cheng said, "Hold on for a while, and you'll be home soon." "Do you know how to get to my house?" Zhi Ziaduo asked suspiciously. Xiang Cheng thought for a while and said, "Will you lead the way?" So, just like that, Zhi Ziaduo picked up an inexplicable boyfriend and went home. As soon as Xiang Cheng opened the door, he said, "How is it this dirty? You go take a bath ba." Zhi Ziaduo. Xiang Cheng acted like he was very familiar with the apartment, and as soon as he came in, he picked up the clothes and pants on the sofa and threw them out onto the balcony. Then he cleaned the house like a whirlwind, and Zhi Ziaduo was completely in a daze. "What do we do with this?" Zhi Ziaduo took out the box and said, "Let me lay down some ground rules first, President Ye. Call me Xiang Cheng." Xiang Cheng replied. "What exactly are you called?" Zhi Ziaduo was about to die from getting played around by him. "Call me husband." Xiang Cheng pointed, tapped his finger, and said, If that's too embarrassing, call me Xiang Chen, but don't call me that in front of others. Anything but. Zhi Xiaoduo couldn't cry and laugh and said, then I'll call you Xiang Chen. No. Zhi Xiaoduo remembered that there seemed to be another person in the casino, also called Xiang Chen. What did that mean? He was a little puzzled. When he had heard the name for the first time, it had seemed very familiar. Xiang Chen quietly looked at Zhi Xiaoduo. Zhi Xiaoduo's expression changed again, and he tried his best to remember something, but he couldn't catch the train of thought in his mind. Wife, what do you want to say? Xiang Chen broke the silence. I haven't agreed yet. Zhi Xiaoduo didn't know whether to cry or laugh. But you already agreed last night. Xiang Chen raised his eyebrows and said innocently. Zhi Xiaoduo was dumbstruck. He had agreed, but he couldn't live up to it. However, now it seemed that he really liked him. Besides the shock of seeing him the first time, now it seemed that the more he looked at Xiang Chen, the more he liked him. Although he was very ugly, he had a different kind of charm the longer he looked at him. But Xiang Chen's attitude was really unbearable. It was pretty much him being led around by the nose, and this was the first time that Zhi Xiaoduo was on the receiving end of such stubbornness. It was a feeling of, no matter what he thought, the other side knew what he was thinking. This, Zhi Xiaoduo patted the box and said, must be returned. It is wrong to resell cultural relics. I bought it from abroad and brought it to mainland China. Xiang Chen said, I'm protecting the country's treasures. Zhi Xiaoduo said, how do I know if what you said is true, unless you return it? Okay. Xiang Chen answered frankly, since you said so, I will return it before the sun goes down today. But won't you be convicted like that? Zhi Xiaoduo knew nothing about the law, and he was afraid that Xiang Chen would be arrested and put in prison if he handed over the cultural relics. Do you want me to do a stint in prison? Xiang Chen replied. Zhi Xiaoduo. It's better to return it secretly. Zhi Xiaoduo said. Xiang Chen replied, it's fine, I have a lot of money. If I give a few gifts, I can post bail. Zhi Xiaoduo once again began to worry about Xiang Chen being arrested and jailed, and Xiang Chen puffed out a laugh, finding it funny. Sitting at the tea table, he began to work on the password lock on the box. Zhi Xiaoduo looked down and realized that Xiang Chen seemed to be tricking him, and asked, are you tricking me? Xiang Chen evaded and did not answer. He asked, there are 3 ground rules, so what are the second and the third? You have to tell me exactly what you are doing. Zhi Xiaoduo said, why did you suddenly like, Why I liked you? Xiang Chen replied. Yes. Zhi Xiaoduo said, tell me who you are and your identity. Tell me everything, and you're not allowed to lie. Otherwise, once I find out, I will break up with you. Okay. Xiang Chen murmured to himself, holding a fruit knife in his mouth. He moved the password lock with his fingers, closed his eyes, and listened to the sound. Motherfucker, he can also pick locks. Is he a notorious pirate? Zhi Xiaoduo held his breath and dared not open his mouth to disturb him. He watched Xiang Chen intently try to open the box, listening with his eyes closed. Xiang Chen opened his eyes, stopped his movements, took out the fruit knife from his mouth, began to pry at the lock, and asked, what's the third thing? Zhi Xiaoduo motioned him to open the box first, but Xiang Chen wanted to know first. After thinking about it, Zhi Xiaoduo seemed to have no other conditions. As long as he was honest with him and didn't commit crimes like murder and arson, even with Xiang Chen looking like this, he could accept him. What was most important was that he liked him, and everything else didn't matter. There's nothing else for now. Zhi Xiaoduo said. Should I turn over all my money to you? Xiang Chen asked. Zhi Xiaoduo was almost scared into peeing. This guy's wealth is probably in the billions of dollars. I can't manage that. He hurriedly said, no need, that's okay. Third, I'll give you everything of mine. How about it? Xiang Cheng asked. Zhi Ziaduo felt that Xiang Cheng was being sarcastic, and his glass heart immediately broke. It seems that he's just been playing around with me since last night. Nothing more. Zhi Ziaduo said in a bored tone, I'm the one who poked my nose into someone else's business. It's fine. I'm not teasing you. Xiang Cheng said sincerely, I'm serious. Zhi Ziaduo. At this time, the box opened with a click. Xiang Cheng said, come, let me show you something. It's a long story, but you will know that I am completely sincere to you. Zhi Ziaduo's head was full of question marks. Xiang Cheng opened the box in front of him and said, look at this. Inside was a pistol. Zhi Ziaduo's eyes moved from the pistol to Xiang Cheng's face. Zhi Ziaduo. Xiang Cheng just glanced at it, then closed the box and suddenly cursed. Why is it like this? Xiang Cheng said to himself. What's the matter, La? Zhi Ziaduo opened the box and said, let me have another look. Xiang Cheng frowned deeply. This is really bad, it's actually not. What does this have anything to do with sincerity? Is it a fake? Zhi Ziaduo couldn't help laughing when he thought that these people had been so busy all night, only to have taken a fake. Is it a fake? Zhi Ziaduo asked. Xiang Cheng did not speak. Zhi Ziaduo, great. Then you won't have to go to jail. Xiang Cheng. Zhi Ziaduo came forward, hugged Xiang Cheng's neck, and kissed him on his cheek. Xiang Cheng was about to explode, but after being kissed, his anger fizzled out. I'm going to take a bath. Zhi Ziaduo felt like a large stone in his chest was being set down. For a moment there, he had really felt he was in love with this guy. Otherwise, why would he worry about his imprisonment? Zhi Ziaduo went to get some clothes. When he came out, he saw Xiang Cheng smoking at the tea table with the pistol in front of him. Zhi Ziaduo said, how can there be an ashtray in my house? I don't smoke. Where did you find it? Xiang Cheng waved his hand, glanced at Zhi Ziaduo, and motioned for him to take his bath. His brow was furrowed, his skin pockmarked, and his facial features a little depressed and twisted. His hair was illuminated by the fluorescent lamp, it was greasy, and the more he looked at him, the uglier he became. What exactly do you have against this cigarette? Zhi Ziaduo asked. I'll explain to you later. Xiang Cheng said with a cigarette in his mouth, forget it, it's fate. It wasn't what you wanted. Zhi Ziaduo said, right. Xiang Cheng nodded, but Zhi Ziaduo stopped asking. When he was halfway through with washing, he heard Xiang Cheng busily working outside, with the sounds of cups and plates going, as if he were cooking. End chapter. Post-training notice. National First Class Registered Exorcist. Chapter 81. Secret Investigation. After a moment. Shall we take a bath together? Xiang Cheng asked. No, Zhi Ziaduo said hurriedly. I won't do anything to you. Xiang Cheng said from outside the bathroom, Ziaduo, I'll just scrub your back. You've got too much dried sweat. No need. Thank you. Zhi Ziaduo actually vaguely wanted Xiang Cheng to come in. Last night was the first time in his life that he had held the body of a stranger and a man at that. Thinking about that, he was kind of looking forward to it. Xiang Cheng twisted the door open and came right on in. When he came in, he wasn't wearing anything. He adjusted the hot water, held Zhi Ziaduo from behind, and spread the shower gel with his two big hands. Zhi Ziaduo. This guy wasn't handsome, but he had a very good figure. He had a strong chest, asymmetrical six-pack and lean, strong muscles in his arms. If he didn't look at his face, maybe they'd do that now. Zhi Xiaoduo already had no strength left to resist. Moreover, he inadvertently saw Xiang Cheng's thing. So big. Does it feel good? Xiang Cheng's thing was pushing against Zhi Xiaoduo's butt, and it kept sliding around with the shower gel. Both of them were breathing rapidly. We're husband and husband. Xiang Cheng said, what are you being shy for? Zhi Xiaoduo screamed madly in his heart. I can't keep up with this pace. And why can't I resist at all? His front was growing hard as Xiang Cheng touched him. He felt like he was about to explode. I won't force you. Xiang Cheng said, you can sleep with me when you're willing to. Only then would it be very good. Zhi Xiaoduo couldn't help swallowing, thinking, and now you're actually reluctant. No, how can I have no morals right now? Not good, not good, he thought that as they kept bathing. Xiang Cheng would press him against the wall and kiss him like in some gay porn, and then enter him directly. However, Xiang Cheng didn't. He was hard the entire time, but he concentrated on washing Zhi Xiaoduo. He knelt on one knee and scrubbed his ankles. After washing up, he said, rinse yourself off, and then that'll be good. His endurance was really top-notch. Zhi Xiaoduo himself already kind of wanted to jerk himself off. However, Xiang Cheng just started to wash his hair and said, go out and drink some water. Let's eat together when I'm done washing up. Suddenly, there was the sound of the doorbell from outside, and both of them froze. Zhi Xiaoduo. Wang Ren's voice shouted. It's Wang Ren. Zhi Xiaoduo said to Xiang Cheng, my friend. Wait. Xiang Cheng turned off the water, pondered for a moment, and said, do as I say. Wang Ren rang the doorbell several times, and Zhi Xiaoduo put on his clothes to open the door. Damn it! Wang Ren said, you scared me to death. Kita said that you'd definitely be back, but I didn't believe it. Chen Zhen appeared from behind Wang Ren, followed by Kita and Zhou Wanyuan. What's the matter? Chen Zhen came in and asked. Change into some slippers. Zhi Xiaoduo said hurriedly. The floors of the house had just been mopped. Chen Zhen, Kita, Zhou Wanyuan, and Wang Ren all came in. You. The people seemed a little nervous while looking at Zhi Xiaoduo. Zhi Xiaoduo was puzzled and said, what's wrong? How did you come back from the sea? Chen Zhen asked. Didn't you guys ask President Ye to bring me back? Zhi Xiaoduo asked in response. Everyone. Who is President Ye? Wang Ren was completely out of the situation and said, didn't you go to Macau to play? Did you befriend someone new? Chen Zhen motioned Wang Ren not to speak and said, what did President Ye say? He said. Zhi Xiaoduo thought for a while and said, he took a call and asked the helicopter to take me to Lizhu Peninsula, and then took me home. He also said that this was not what he wanted, so he's giving it back to you. Kita had discovered the box on the table, and Zhi Xiaoduo continued, after that, he left. He said that he would come to see me another day, and that we would definitely meet again. Chen Zhen glanced at the box, then went straight to the window and pulled open the window to look outside. Kita went around the bathroom, kitchen, and balcony. The washing machine was spinning, but other than that, nothing was out of place. Zhou Wanyuan, Chen Zhen, and Kita all exchanged glances. Chen Zhen walked back and opened up the box on the tea table. What exactly is this? Zhi Xiaoduo asked. Chen Zhen didn't say anything, and Zhi Xiaoduo didn't keep pursuing this topic. Wasn't it the golden arrows? Chen Zhen replied. It doesn't look like them to me, Kita said, let's take it back first and hand it in ba. Zhi Xiaoduo glared at the three of them and said, it's you guys' turn to explain things now, isn't it? There was a thump in the three people's hearts, and Zhi Xiaoduo asked, where's Xian Hezi? If I haven't guessed wrong, he's definitely part of you guys' group too, right? Why did you guys appear on the boat? Did you think I was stupid? Xian Hezi pushed the door open, a leash in his hand. He led the dog in, and Zhi Ziaduo's bird was perched on his head. "Where's Qi Wei?" Zhi Ziaduo asked expressionlessly. Xiang Chen, wrapped in a bathrobe, sat outside Zhi Ziaduo's house, in a tree in the neighborhood. He lit a cigarette. "Xiang Xiang has everyone going in circles, and you're still not planning to explain a bit?" Qi Wei asked coldly. A cigarette was thrown down from the tree and landed on Qi Wei's collar. Xiang Chen narrowed his eyes, sizing up Qi Wei. Qi Wei said, "You should clearly state any plans you have now. Chen Zhen can protect you for a while but not for your whole life. If we take the fake Xiang Chen back to Beijing, the old Buddha will figure it out sooner or later. When that happens, it won't be us who will be coming back here." "Lightning," Xiang Chen said. Qi Wei's expression changed. "Whose spell was that?" Xiang Chen looked at Qi Wei, his brow furrowing slightly. Qi Wei didn't say anything. A strange silence reigned between the two of them, and after a full minute, Qi Wei slowly shook his head. "You guys find your internal spies first," Xiang Chen flicked the ashes off and said lightly, "then come investigate me." Qi Wei said, "I can't be sure, and even Chen Zhen doesn't know where that lightning came from." "Maybe he set off the lightning himself," Xiang Chen said. "Forget it, return Zhi Ziaduo's memories." "I can't return them," Qi Wei said. "Teacher Zhou's memory seal was one that Chen Zhen set himself, you have to go ask him about it. However, I suggest you don't say anything to Zhi Ziaduo, because it will be useless. Based on my observations, Chen Zhen has been working hard this entire time to restore his memories by recreating the scenes. Chen Zhen isn't the sort of person to do useless work. He said before that this kind of seal is based on reversing a person's experiences from one event onwards, and then lastly sealing some scene that left the greatest impression on Ziaduo. Only when this scene is reproduced can Ziaduo remember. But with the seal there, even the people who went through it probably won't be able to figure out which scene it was." Xiang Chen narrowed his eyes, as if he had thought of something. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. That night, Xiang Chen knelt by the sofa at Zhi Ziaduo's side, with Beethoven's sonata pathetic playing. Zhi Ziaduo twitched slightly, looking as though he was about to wake up from a dream, but he still didn't open his eyes. Their rings were on the tea table, and Zhi Ziaduo's ring finger moved slightly, his eyelashes trembling incessantly. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. That evening, after they had washed up, they lay on the bed, gazing into each other's eyes. Zhi Ziaduo felt for the cloth bag underneath the pillow, took out the ring made of bent iron, and gave it to Xiang Chen. "In the future, let's go to England and get married. No need to do something so complicated." Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Xiang Chen muttered, "That was the only time he thought that he could help me." "Qi Wei, what?" "Nothing," Xiang Chen returned to his senses. "Thanks." Xiang Chen raised his head to look up at the building and said, "I will come find you soon." "Qi Wei, it'd be best if you came with an explanation." Qi Wei turned his head, saw Wang Ren walking out of the hallway, and turned and left. Zhi Ziaduo sat on the sofa, staring at the three people with a bored expression. Wang Ren had been chased away by Kita. "Nicholas Chen." Chen Zhen said. "Zhou Wanyuan, Lily Zhou. Kita Gagantorura. You guys are part of the same act." Zhi Ziaduo was mentally yelling and flipping a table. "We are all level 1 national security special agents," Chen Zhen said sincerely to Zhi Ziaduo. "Zhi Ziaduo, keep lying, you guys just keep on making stuff up, bah." "We're not tricking you," Chen Zhen said. "Here's my certificate, look." Chen Zhen gave Zhi Ziaduo a work certificate to look at, and state agent was written on it. Zhi Ziaduo said angrily, "It turns out state agents even have work certificates, ah. Why do you have it on you? You're not afraid of enemies taking it away from you." "He's a director." Zhou Wanyuan corrected, a director Look, we don't have certificates. He's in charge of dealing with other governmental departments. Zhi Xiaoduo only half believed it, and Chen Zhen said, they are all my subordinates. We were investigating a cultural artifacts smuggling case, and we hope to witness the entire proceedings and also capture Mr. Martini in Macau. Martini and the Ye family were making a trade, and your friend Shi Cheng was a Ye family representative. Zhi Xiaoduo pretty much didn't believe them, but he couldn't find any holes in their story either. Then who is Shi Cheng? Zhi Xiaoduo asked. He's someone who likes collecting artifacts, Chen Zhen said. However, he sadly didn't want this one. So, our teammate Chi Wei set up a scheme, which was to use his cousin as bait. Careful, Chi Wei is going to punch you, Zhou Wanyuan said to Chen Zhen. Zhi Xiaoduo. Chen Zhen waved his hand, indicating to let him come at him, then continued, to draw out Shi Cheng's personal assistant, Feng Li, and successfully get into their banquet. We then stop this trade and return this artifact to the motherland. Chen Zhen said sincerely, thank you, Zhi Xiaoduo. You helped us, but please don't mention this matter to anyone else. Really? Zhi Xiaoduo asked suspiciously, but he plainly took the artifact and ran off. How come he suddenly didn't want it? We had already discovered him then, so he was afraid of incurring more trouble, Chen Zhen said. Yes, Kita added, he can't win against the machinery of the state. Zhi Xiaoduo. We're going now, Chen Zhen said, we have to take care of the aftermath. You rest well, and if he comes back, call us anytime. Alright, Ba, Zhi Xiaoduo thought, this is definitely something that you guys just came up with. There's just too many suspicious points. However, he didn't question them any further and just said bye-bye to Chen Zhen. When Chen Zhen left, he also reached out a hand to run Zhi Xiaoduo's head. Fight on. There's only one step left now. What? Zhi Xiaoduo asked. The elevator doors opened, and Chen Zhen left. Zhi Xiaoduo went back home. The pistol had been carried away, while his dog and bird were both back. What did they say? Xiang Cheng again appeared in the kitchen, boiling noodles for Zhi Xiaoduo. Lang dog let out a bark, raising its head to observe him. Xiang Cheng turned his head to look at it. Lang dog's eyes held a trace of fear in them as they darted left and right. Xiang Cheng walked over and tethered him. The bird looked at Xiang Cheng, and Xiang Cheng stretched out a hand to rub its head. Zhi Xiaoduo looked suspiciously at Xiang Cheng and asked, what are you doing? Making you dinner, Xiang Cheng returned to the kitchen, tied an apron around his waist, and asked curiously, are you not hungry? Xiang Cheng turned on the mincer machine, and Zhi Xiaoduo said, tell me, what exactly is going on? Also, President Ye. How come you know how to cook and do housework? Can't domineering presidents do housework? Xiang Cheng asked, turn on the TV and see what the news has to say. Explain everything clearly to me first. Zhi Xiaoduo said. Xiang Cheng was mixing the dough and he drew in a deep breath to calm himself down. Then he thought for a while and said, I have to start with last spring, when I met you. I was a duck at the Chairman Men's Health Club. Zhi Xiaoduo. When I gave you an oil massage, you fell in love with me. Xiang Cheng glanced back at Zhi Xiaoduo and laughed. Zhi Xiaoduo thought, with your appearance, you were able to be a duck. Did the guests go blind? No, when did you give me an oil massage? However, Xiang Cheng kneaded the dough, and as if he was casting a spell, flattened it out in midair, spun it in a circle behind him, and had it come back to the front. He kneaded it into a big lump again and started to roll out dumpling skins. The dumpling skins flew out, and Xiang Cheng said casually, actually, I am an exorcist. What? Zhi Xiaoduo asked. An exorcist, Xiang Cheng said, my mom was a snake yao, and my dad was an exorcist. Zhi Xiaoduo. In the 28 years of Zhi Ziaduo's life, this was the first time that he had doubted the truth of this world. Xiang Cheng explained things like he was firing off cannonballs. When I was capturing a Yaoguai called a Guiche, I met you. At the start, I thought you were pretty cute and wanted to protect you. Later, I gradually started liking you, and wanted to take care of you. You accompanied me to Beijing to take the National First Class Exorcist certification, and you wanted to accompany me to capture Yao. The corner of Zhi Ziaduo's mouth twitched. He remembered that yesterday around this time, he had met this guy called Shi Cheng. That guy had been drinking wine worth tens of thousands of yuan and eating steak worth 3,000 yuan, while right now, this guy was in his kitchen making dumpling skins. He said very seriously, during the night of the Ghost Festival, our souls were pulled out of our bodies, and we took a trip around the Forbidden City. Wu, Zhi Ziaduo said, and then what? And then you got the Yao Subduing Engineer certificate, and the two of us went to do a mission in Zhengzhou, Henan. We ran into a nine-tailed heavenly fox. Later, I came back to save you, but the Exorcist committee had wiped your memory and sent you back home. You said, husband, you will definitely come to save me. So now, I've come to find you, Xiang Cheng said, we will never be apart from now on. That's how it all went down, understood? The corner of Zhi Ziaduo's mouth twitched, and he nodded. Understood. As long as you understand, Xiang Cheng boiled the dumplings and said, the dumplings are your favorite badge hen kind. Zhi Ziaduo roared in his heart, do you think I'm stupid? How can you prove it? Zhi Ziaduo said in a bored fashion, let me see a fireball spell. I can't use magic. Xiang Cheng said, Fengli used a yin-yang separation technique to temporarily lock my fourth po. Thanks to you, after Hu Ziniang's death, Mara's control over all the seeds of Mara has weakened. The closer it is to its resurrection, the weaker its power will become. It's a 1,000-year cycle, and this is its new moon. I will try to kill it at the last moment. But when I use the full power of Akalanatha in my body, Mara will notice that my snake po has been temporarily separated. In addition, once I use the power of the boss snake, Mara would try put me under its control and I'll lose control of my senses. That's why I can't use any powers now. Xiang Cheng said to Zhi Ziaduo, but believe me, there will be a way to take care of it. You can't use any magic. Zhi Ziaduo said, then there is still no way to prove any of that. Xiang Cheng was at a loss, but then he suddenly remembered something and signaled for Zhi Ziaduo to wait. Xiang Cheng brought the dumpling plate to the table, put a saucer of rice in front of the table, and put some dog food there as well. I'll prove it to you. Xiang Cheng said to the Lang dog, transform. Lang dog squatted on the ground and wagged his tail at Xiang Cheng. Sigui. Xiang Cheng said to the bird, manifest. The bird hopped around and pecked at the rice. A minute passed, and nothing happened. This is a dog Yao. Xiang Cheng pointed to the wolfhound and said, Chen Zhen sent it to protect you. Wu. Lang dog made a sound in its throat. Zhi Ziaduo, so. Xiang Cheng, it can transform into a human. Then let it transform. Xiang Cheng snapped his fingers at Lang dog. Lang dog looked up, stuck its tongue out, panted, and wagged its tail continuously. Sigui. Xiang Cheng was a little frantic and snapped his fingers in front of Sigui. So, they can transform into people just like that. Zhi Ziaduo ate the dumplings and thought they were really delicious. So, he also snapped his fingers in front of Sigui. Xiang Cheng. Zhi Ziaduo. Do you need to wait for a specific time? Zhi Ziaduo said, for example, on the night of the full moon. Go check the almanac and see which day is most suitable. Xiang Cheng. Zhi Ziaduo thought to himself, I just said that if he lied to me that we would split up. What am I supposed to do now? If I had known ahead of time, I wouldn't have set such strict conditions. You're lying to me, Zhi Xiaotuo said fiercely. Xiang Cheng at this point even thought about dying. I didn't. Xiang Cheng looked worried and wanted Si Gui to come save him, but Si Gui was entirely ignoring him. I'll give you another chance, Zhi Xiaotuo said, for the sake of your delicious cooking. So, Xiang Cheng just had to say in a proper way, I'm a special agent. Xiang Cheng wildly made up a story, and Zhi Xiaotuo could not help adding to it at the same time. Xiang Cheng didn't know whether to laugh or cry. After finishing the story, Zhi Xiaotuo said with satisfaction, that's right. But there is one more suspicious thing. Zhi Xiaotuo said, why haven't Feng Li and the others come to find you? Xiang Cheng thought for a while, before he turned on the TV, flipped through several channels, and finally found a channel that was broadcasting the news from last night. It was about the Macau police investigating a cruise ship gunfight, and the deputy general manager of Chaoxiang Shipping was holding a press conference. Another President Ye was sitting beside him. He said nothing and looked impatient. Zhi Xiaotuo looked surprised. He looked at the person on the screen and then at Xiang Cheng. You are? He is my body double, Xiang Cheng explained. I told them to wait until everything had blown over to come and find me. Oh. Zhi Xiaotuo asked suspiciously, then what are you doing with me? Do you still have a mission? I like you, Xiang Cheng said, I want to stay together with you. I've already said this much. Why do you still not believe me? Xiang Cheng finished washing up the dishes, went outside to throw out the trash, and seemed to be a little depressed. Zhi Xiaotuo sort of believed him, but he would just have to attribute it to this tall, handsome, and rich. Tall, ugly, and rich man's hobbies. Sleep. At night, Zhi Xiaotuo was so sleepy. Xiang Cheng tucked him in, and Zhi Xiaotuo tiredly lay there and asked, what are we going to do in the future? I'll take care of it, Xiang Cheng said, you don't need to worry about it. Zhi Xiaotuo glanced at Xiang Cheng, and Xiang Cheng also lay on the bed. No way, just like that, they were going to share a bed. Zhi Xiaotuo was still a little worried. He looked at Xiang Cheng, and they looked at each other for a second. Zhi Xiaotuo did not ask anything as if he did, presumably the answer would be, I'm already your boyfriend, so he did not bother to refuse him. He lay on the bed and closed his eyes. Can I hold you? Xiang Cheng asked in the dark. Zhi Xiaotuo turned around and hugged Xiang Cheng. He turned off the light and could no longer see his face. When he touched his body, he felt very lustful. The smell of his skin vaguely moved him, but Xiang Cheng didn't do anything to him. He just kissed him on the cheek, and Zhi Xiaotuo gradually fell asleep. At midnight, he felt Xiang Cheng's body shift, which naturally woke him up. Are your hands numb? Zhi Xiaotuo asked. No. Xiang Cheng whispered. His other hand was using Zhi Xiaotuo's iPad to send WeChat messages. Zhi Xiaotuo yawned and felt Xiang Cheng awake. He looked at him curiously and asked, what time is it? What are you doing? I'm going out. Xiang Cheng put away the iPad and replied, I need to do something. What is it? Zhi Xiaotuo alertly asked, take me with you. Xiang Cheng thought for a while, before he nodded. Then he dressed Zhi Xiaotuo and led him outside. The cold wind blew in the middle of the night, which cleared Zhi Xiaotuo's head. Xiang Cheng got on a bike and signaled for him to sit in front, before he took him to have a midnight snack. They then sped out along Haizu Avenue. You can ride a bike pretty well, President Ye, Zhi Xiaotuo said. Call me husband. Xiang Cheng replied. The bicycle turned to enter a residential community. Zhi Xiaotuo was puzzled and asked, where is this? SHH. Xiang Cheng parked his bicycle on the roadside and took Zhi Xiaotuo over the wall into the community. This is in violation of the regulations on public security and penalties. Your husband has money. It's enough for him to get out of punishment. That's not the point. What are you doing? Here, come here. Xiang Cheng motioned Zhi Ziaduo towards the side of the community. Great King. A voice sounded in the dark, and a man in a black suit flashed out. Don't call me Great King. Xiang Cheng said immediately. Yes. Zhi Ziaduo. Zhi Ziaduo thought, you guys have watched too many bad jokes ba. Xiang Cheng asked, where's Fengli? Lord Feng has returned to the Holy Land. The man knelt down on one knee and whispered, the situation in Macau has been settled. You can go back anytime. Everything has been prepared. Everything is ready. His subordinate said. Send a few more people to meet us outside. Xiang Cheng said, when you hear the sound of broken glass, you can take action. Get a car over here, something that looks more domineering, and have it wait outside the community. This was a 3-story villa with the lights on. Chen Zhen sat at the table, his eyebrows furrowed. Chen Zhen, Kita, and Xian Hezi were watching TV together. The Chaoxiang shipping news conference was on, and the vice president of the company was sitting next to Shi Cheng, who had taken Zhi Ziaduo away that night. Can this guy also be a fake? Xian Hezi asked. I can't tell. Chen Zhen said, suppose he is still in Guangzhou, what does he want to do now? These are not the golden arrows, so I guess he still wants to find the golden arrows. Also, you can't just take someone back like this. Kita said, what kind of person do you think the old Buddha is? One glance and she'll be able to tell that it's just a doll you can pull the string on. He's been sealed with the talisman of true binding, and it's being controlled by the spell of secret exchange. Chen Zhen said, as long as he doesn't talk, 3 days later, he'll already be in prison. Damn it. Kita replied, what exactly does Xiang Cheng want to do? He didn't even care about Ziaduo and just left. Think through this, Chen Zhen, it's very risky for you to take such fake goods to report to the higher-ups. Not only you, but the rest of us will also be implicated if we don't report the information we know. Even if you apply for a mission extension, that would be better than the current situation. We're out of time. Chen Zhen said, as soon as Beijing hears of the incident in Macau, the organization will immediately send people over. The local organization in Guangzhou has already asked for intervention, so now our only hope is for Qi Wei over there to stabilize teacher De Shuman. Otherwise, once the investigation is carried out, the gaps will only become more and more obvious. Kita thought for a while and said, you can't go now. Let Wan Yuan take him back to Beijing. If it only takes Wan Yuan to escort an imprisoned Xiang Cheng back, the higher-ups won't believe that. I have to go in person. Chen Zhen replied, I have to go now, I can't wait any longer. They looked at the clock on the wall. It was 4:30 at night. The first flight is at 8. Chen Zhen said, I'm going to go through the prisoner escort formalities now. Xiang Cheng and Zhi Ziaduo looked into a room on the second floor. The light was on inside, and Chen Lang was lying on the bed reading. This is probably Chen Zhen and Chen Lang's room. Xiang Cheng whispered to Zhi Ziaduo. I see. But Xiang Cheng opened the window and jumped into the room. At this moment, all the wind chimes in the whole villa rang together. In the living room downstairs, Chen Zhen, Kita, Xian Hezi looked up together. Enemies. Kita flipped up and down from the railing of the living room stairs, and then quickly jumped up to the second floor. Xian Hezi rushed out of the door, and all the lights in the villa went out. According to Xiang Cheng's instructions, Zhi Ziaduo ran out the corridor, opened the door of Chen Zhen's room, and went in. End chapter.